Okay, so more on the election now and focusing on a particular seat today. We're taking a look at the marginal seat of Boothby in Adelaide, South Australia. It covers the southern suburbs of the city. The Liberals hold it with a 0.6% margin. OBrienDigance is the ALP candidate for the seat. Like the sitting Liberal member, Dr Andrew Southcott, Ms Digance has also worked in the healthcare system. She's been a nurse and healthcare professional. She joins me now from our Adelaide studios. OBrienDigance, welcome. Have you been treading the streets of your suburb enthusiastically over the last several months?
Oh, absolutely, Joe, and thank you very much for having me on today. Yes, certainly meeting many people at their doors and also calling many people on the phone and attending a lot of really interesting community gatherings, meeting many passionate people in the Boothby area.
And what's your sense of the political mood in Boothby?
The sense I'm feeling is there is a lot of support coming towards the Labor government, and I had many conversations with people at a community event yesterday just on the support that they're giving the Labor government on many of the policies that they've come out with and what they have done previously. But also there are a section of voters who are what I'd call considering, and they're considering their vote and they're waiting to sort of see how the policies play out over the next couple of weeks.
Has the Kevin Rudd factor turned things around much for Labor in the last few weeks?
Oh, certainly there has been a lot of welcoming back of Kevin. People are feeling very reassured and very confident in how things are travelling as far as what Labor has to offer.
So what do you believe are the key issues there? And I'd like you to name some national ones, but as well as, are there any really important local issues to the people of Boothby?
Yeah, there are. I mean, and these issues, of course, I do gain, Joe, from speaking to people at all the events I attend and the door knocking that I do. So people are concerned, for instance, in the Boothby area about transport. They're concerned about clearing the roads so that they have a sort of a safer passage clearer passage on the road at peak hour. And in a really exciting announcement that the government came out with at budget time was the $31.5 million support that they're going to give to redeveloping the Tonsley line, which will take and also put in a park and ride. So that will actually give people a chance in the area to park their cars and travel very clearly and quickly into the city.
And we hear that the important national issues that are always mentioned, the economy, and sometimes people make reference to the asylum seeker issue as well. Do you find those two issues coming up much in South Australia?
Yeah, interestingly, first of all, on the economy, I had a number of people yesterday speak to me about the economy, and in fact, two of them came and thanked me for being part of the Labor Party and thanked me for what the Labor Party has done to actually ferry us very successfully through the global financial crisis. And they referred to the situations in Spain and Greece, and they were very grateful that our economy is travelling as well as it is. So I found that interesting, the gratitude that they gave us for that. As far as the asylum seekers go, I think this is such an emotional issue. These are people in very tenuous situations. But the Rudd government announcement has really been welcomed in the electorate of Boothby, and people are feeling more at ease with how that situation is now being handled.
Yeah, you say that these are people in very tenuous situations. Do you think it's fair enough that Australia is sending them to places like Nauru and PNG where there's no chance of ever settling in Australia if they are these people who are coming from these very troubled areas of the world and looking for a safer place to live?
Yeah, and I think this is I'm very grateful. For instance, we live in a very I'm very grateful for the country we live in, and these people, I think we need to keep in mind that they are in these situations. But one thing I'd like to say is I don't think any of us want to have on our minds and on our conscience people being exploited by people smugglers and also being put on boats that may end up sinking at sea. So I think I know people that have actually come to Australia via boats. I know people very well, and I know people who've actually queued up and come to Australia. Both have valid cases, and but I think we need to do this in an orderly way. So so safety is paramount.
So you think sending them to places like Nauru and Manus Island with no prospect of ever settling in Australia is reasonable?
Well, it's something that we need to do to stop this people smuggling, I guess, market, for lack of a better word. Yeah.
Okay, now I was speaking to an ABC broadcaster down there a little earlier in the seat of Boothby, and he said the ALP had shot itself in the foot previously in the seat of Boothby, and he said it seems to be the case that the ALP's done that again. There's a bit of a Twitter controversy in that seat. What happened there?
Yes, there was an apparent controversy, and that was by a volunteer member of my team, and certainly that did cause a bit of upset. For people who know me, they know very, very well that I would not condone what happened, and that has now settled, and an apology has been issued to Mr Southcott, and we've moved on.
Yeah, and have you apologised yourself over that? Do you think it's necessary for you to?
Joe, I haven't apologised directly to Andrew Southcott. I did see him yesterday, and we had a bit of a chat. We always have an amiable relationship. But I have to say, I knew nothing of that tweet, and it is not how I would run a campaign. So this will not happen again. Okay,
what's your tip for the result on September the 7th for the seat of Boothby, when everyone's going to be watching the ABC election coverage?
Well, my tip is that I'll be working hard over the next few weeks. And I mean, certainly you'd probably like to hear me say my tip is that I'll win the seat, but I don't want to take anything for granted, and I don't think that's reasonable of me. I will be out talking to lots of people, of course, door knocking and at community gatherings, and I will be really working very, very hard. I think there was an appetite for change last time, and I'm hopeful this time.